And is there any way for, like, my patients to know if they were getting, vaccinated blood or?
There isn't any way. The blood isn't separated, depending on if you're vaccinated or not. It's not separated.
And we've told you about this, and we appreciate. None of this happens without your support. And by the way, you can send your tips for new undercover leads that we are chasing down. Our investigative journalism unit.
There you go.
Sorry, stroke.
LWC tips at Proton Mail.
Thank you.
What happened? Yeah, LWC tips at protonmail.com. Send in your tips, and our team is hard at work. And none of this happens without you and Mug Club because it makes no financial sense. Basically, every time we run one of these, we're met with a lawsuit. We have yet to lose, but this brings us to this week as it relates to the Red Cross and something that may surprise you, Mug Club Undercover. So let me set this up. This is not necessarily new, but yesterday a post started making the rounds, this screenshot from the Red Cross, and it read, "Have you ever had a COVID-19 vaccine?" Now, here's the thing. If you answer that question yes, you are directed to call the Red Cross to discuss eligibility as a donor. And because sometimes I actually don't know what the investigative unit is working on, and that's by design. I don't know the names of people, so that when I get sued, they call me in and they go, "Yeah, what did this person say?" I go, "I have no idea. I don't even know that person's name." And that's the truth. Does someone have a Bible? I'll swear in the Bible. I don't know their names. So when this story was brought to me, I thought, oh, they're disqualifying people who haven't had the vaccine.
Right.
It's the exact opposite. And that is what is so alarming here. We had a journalist reach out to the Red Cross through this phone line and ask them about this post and why they're asking the question, have you been vaccinated, the COVID-19? I don't want to use the term vaccine. Have you been injected with the COVID-19 mRNA injection? Listen to their answer because the context is what matters here more than just the content.
And is there any way for, like, my patients to know if they were getting, vaccinated blood or?
There isn't any way. The blood isn't separated, depending on if you're vaccinated or not. It's not separated.
Yeah. So
we have a longer version of that clip, too, that we're going to play for Mug Club.
I couldn't because I had to take my headphones off. Did she make the comment in there regarding?
A little.
Shit about the symptoms? Yeah.
She goes into further detail.
Which
is it's absolutely shocking and insane. So people got pissed off for kind of the wrong reasons about this on social media.
What they were saying is they're saying, well, we ask because people who've gotten the vaccine the last 2 years are still experiencing symptoms. In other words, they can say out there in public, they can say, no, myocarditis is not a thing. As a matter of fact, people are more likely to suffer from myocarditis just from COVID in general than the mRNA injection. That's the narrative they've been pushing. Now, if you look at the data, that is not correct. And if you look at how they have to coach lower level employees, meaning they're not going to bring this person to meta-analysis, they're not going to explain to them the cross-sectional data and the different sample sizes. They're going to say, look, the reason that we're asking is because people who've gotten the vaccine, they still have symptoms, and we can't take blood from people who still have symptoms who've gotten the COVID-19 vaccine. You have to train up thousands of people out there who are taking donations, so you have to simplify it. They didn't say, hey, look, people who haven't gotten the vaccine, they can't donate blood because they're at risk. No, it's people who have taken the vaccine in the last 2 years, they may be at risk. That is the reason for the screening. When the rubber meets the road here, they know what the media is telling you is not true. They know to be true what CNN, what the CDC, what ABC, NBC, CBS, what the White House is telling you is not. Don't believe your lying eyes and ears, and don't believe the people who have to reduce their liability through a very specific set of questions. We were all really damn surprised.
It's very surprising. And one other thing, if you get in an accident, they revealed this, and you're unvaccinated, you're going to get vaccinated blood potentially.
Right.
You've gone to great lengths to make sure. Pregnant women that are breastfeeding. My wife, ready to leave her career, she goes in for the like if she doesn't donate blood in advance and has to get blood after she's given birth for some reason. Could be somebody's blood that's been vaccinated. And we've gone through, again, great lengths not to do that.
Which they have acknowledged has a greater risk of symptoms.
Yes, exactly.
That is what is terrifying. That's how, when people say follow the science, hold on a second. We're going to play the extended clip And we know that Rumble would never ban us, but we're trying to get this show. We're always supposed to be under an hour, and we always go over an hour. But it's just easier to kill the YouTube feed and just go to Mug Club when we're discussing something like this because, by the way, calling it. And please. Oh, let me do it again. Spectacular. You were early. Let me do it one more time. Wait, right on the point. There we go.
Nice.
Election 2024. This channel on YouTube will be suspended. This bothers you, I know, because influencers will then get mad about the wrong thing, and then it all becomes really convoluted and hard to follow.
Yeah, and it's the next thing that they're like, no, you guys got pissed off at this, so this part over here that's really true. Meaning, A, they're screening because they're worried about people that have the vaccine, that have symptoms and stuff like that. That's a huge part of this, but nobody's really talking about that. The second part is you can get unvaccinated blood, and there is no way to stop it. Get in an accident today, sorry, you left your job.
No, you mean get vaccinated blood.
No, you can get vaccinated, vaccinated or unvaccinated
Exactly.
blood.
You have no way of knowing,
no way of knowing it. And sorry, I know you quit your job. I know you made a stand on principle, and I know you did something to protect your unborn child, but oops. We had to give you blood, and now maybe you've gotten something in your body that you don't want. Oh, sorry, you don't want HIV? We didn't screen for that.
No, exactly. We'll get into that in a second.
It's ridiculous.
Well, this is what they say on the Red Cross website. It says there is no deferral time for eligible blood donors who are vaccinated with an inactivated or RNA-based COVID-19 vaccine manufactured by AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Novavax, or Pfizer. Eligible blood donors who received a live attenuated COVID-19 vaccine or do not know what type of COVID-19 vaccine they received must wait 2 weeks before giving blood. Now, that would seem fair, but it's not the reason they're actually screening. It's not entirely the reason they're screening.
That's not the whole story.
Because they talked about 2 years.
Right.
And people getting symptoms.
They talked about symptoms as well, related.
And we'll play the longer call, but that portion would seem fair, especially considering the new side effects that we are discovering regarding the vaccine. They just did a I wouldn't say puff piece on CNN. Yeah, and
that's how we lost our grandma, actually.
Even worse, if you're feeling symptoms, is how they treat you. Hey, I'm donating blood. I'm trying to do the right thing.
I think it was 9 when I saw that. Jeez.
Are they hiring?
Yeah.
Hey, guy survived.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Miracle.
I know. And then he got to live as a robot.
That's pretty cool, too.
Or as the Germans say, robot.
Robot.
So
No
we
penis, though.
had an investigative...
Never mind, I'm out. That boy just let me
Which
go.
just seems like they added insult to injury. They could have given him a hammer.
Yeah, come on.
You know?
Or something cool?
Yeah.
A vibrator?
No, that's not cool.
Really awesome.
What is he?
Is that not cool? That's not cool. Yeah, that's not cool. You're
What
right.
is he, just going to a lesbian convent?
How gay are you, Josh?
The shoe is on the
I'm
other
gay.
foot.
I don't think that's gay.
No, well, yeah. Now,
Ladies, what do you think? Would you rather?
don't ask the ladies. They're all going to be like, I'm pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing it for the girl.
You never heard of a dryer? Now, we had a journalist call the Red Cross, and again, the extended call, we couldn't do this on YouTube, is alarming because the story is actually more severe than what some of these influencers, because there are some influencers, to be clear, saying, oh, they don't want unvaccinated blood. Really, that's discrimination. I see people going that. No, that's not what they're doing. They are acknowledging that people who have been vaccinated are experiencing a disproportionate amount of symptoms, and that's why they are screening. And that is something that they want to keep hush-hush, but when you call in, they have to ask you.
Situations where you may be in a car accident or something, you need blood right away, there is a possibility that you'll be getting vaccinated blood.
And is there any way for my patients to know if they were getting, vaccinated blood or?
There isn't any way the blood isn't separated, depending on if you're vaccinated or not. It's not separated. The only way that they can get it, blood that's not vaccinated, is if they donate for themselves or if they have a family member that's willing to donate for them.
Do you guys track that?
Track vaccinated versus unvaxxed?
Yeah. Ending up to the patient?
No. So some people have, had the vaccine 2 years ago and are still experiencing some type of symptoms. So that's why we specifically ask regarding that one. like, for instance, I've had one donor before call in, and after she received the vaccine, her doctor was able to find that she had a direct correlation to ringing in the ears afterwards. And so we see that as a symptom. So anything abnormal, and it still proceeds to this day. So she essentially wasn't eligible to donate. So that's why we have to ask. Just because of any type of symptom, it's not necessarily limited to just fever or nausea or anything of that sort.
So this is something important. What are you not hearing? You are not hearing them say, also people, of course, who have experienced COVID at all experience these symptoms to the same degree. So we ask them if they have had COVID because of the symptoms that they might still be experiencing. No. They have trend lines. And by that, I mean the higher-ups at Red Cross, right? So people who are involved in the data, people who understand what is going on, people who know better. They can't translate that to people who are working not that far above minimum wage. So they go, all right, we have to give them some guidelines. They're not giving them the guidelines of unvaccinated people who've had COVID are seeing the same trend lines as people who've been vaccinated. They are starting off with the premise. Vaccinated, COVID-19 vaccine, last 2 years, much more likely to experience symptoms which would disqualify you from giving blood. And if you don't think that any of this is politically motivated as far as how they are expressing this publicly, because you have to follow the science, this is the same organization that as of August 2023, they no longer screen for gay men donating blood. I think that's overlay E right there. And I am someone who gives blood regularly. I have a very rare blood type, and so they call me all of the time. And there are a lot of health benefits to giving blood. I recommend that you do so. I would love to see if there's a place out there that does separate between vaccinated and unvaccinated blood.
Yes.
Because if that exists, you know what? If it doesn't, that's a business opportunity.
Yeah.
Maybe when it comes to plasma.
I don't think so. They do the platelet-rich plasma.
It's like white blood cells.
So I would recommend you go and give blood. There are health benefits for you, and obviously it's good. But I would like to see if there is a place that specifically separates that, because, of course, that would be the place where I would recommend donating.
Yeah.
Now, when I go and give blood, they not only ask me if I have had sex with a man in the last, I think, 3 or 6 months, they ask me as a man if I've ever had sex with a man, and they even ask me if I have been to certain places, I believe in the 1970s, in areas of North London because of mad cow. They will ask you if you've been in areas, for example, where there were AIDS outbreaks in the 1980s. They are very, very specific. Why? Because politics should be left at the door, and it's, well, no, you are at significantly greater risk. Now, keep in mind, the left also doesn't want you to have to disclose your infected HIV seminal load in the state of California because they believe that that is discriminatory toward gays. The consent laws, which effectively, to me, is attempted murder if you know that you have HIV and you don't disclose it to somebody. So Red Cross, now they say, no, we don't need to know. Even though it's an not a multiple, an exponential increase of certain viruses, diseases, HIV, AIDS.
That we know of.
If you are gay.
Right now.
What are they doing? Are they testing the blood, and then they go, oh, this blood, it came from somebody who has HIV, so now we're going to throw it out and not tell them because we don't want to discriminate?
Well, the whole point is to do the screener first, then, because we're definitely not going to. We're just not. We're not going to take blood from people who are at a significantly high risk. Oh, you're gay. You are a man who has had sex with men. Look, have you seen the Prev pill or PrEP pill? Is it Prev pill or PrEP pill?
Prev.
It's Prev pill. Is it Prev pill or PrEP pill?
I think it was Prev. Those
it's nothing but
really gay.
Nothing but gay men. It's okay now to say that it's entirely a gay disease in this country because that's a statistical reality. That's who they market to. I tell you what, business clarifies. Profit motive really clarifies. Oh, we need to sell an HIV pill? It's PrEP. PrEP.
Dang it.
We need to sell the PrEP pill? Well, who's going to buy it? It's clarified. We're not going to make money off of straight white men or straight white women. We're going to make money off of gay men. And in some instances, some heterosexual black men or African American, I use that term, actually literally African American women because they come from countries where, HIV, they might have actually just been born with it. It's, at that point, if you have it, you pass it on to your offspring. So the statistical reality is your chance of contracting AIDS or HIV in this country. And I'm not just saying if you're someone who is abstinent. I'm saying if you are a monogamous straight male or female in this country, and even if you're not monogamous, meaning you're still out there dating, it's 0%. It's statistically, you make up 0% of the demographic makeup of HIV. It's clarified when they're selling PrEP pill. But they say it doesn't matter as it relates to donating blood because that just involves saving your life. It's that double standard, and that's how you know that it is politically motivated. And this is where we see this, again, it clarifies where they're trying to reduce liability, saying, well, hold on a second, too, with the vaccine. Let's do this quietly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I got HIV already.
Yes.
Because I don't want to take the risk of getting it from somebody else.
Well, you did choose to have your human blood bag. You did choose a twink.
I did.
It was a risk you didn't need to
I like
take.
them little.
Exactly. But I mean, now I'm thinking like, man, look, I think what people have to do is if you want to make sure that you don't get blood that's been vaccinated, donate your own blood or have somebody donate blood in preparation for surgery or in preparation for delivering a child. Or, I mean, you can't do it in the event that there'll be an accident unless you do it frequently, which you can do. Like, do we know how long blood lasts typically after it's donated?
I don't know.
And I don't know, like, what if I'm traveling and the blood doesn't follow me? It's not like I got a kit over here like I'm a vampire and I got to have a fix.
Yeah.
You think they freeze it, don't they? And it lasts forever like a steak or something?
I don't think it lasts forever.
Well, steaks don't last forever if you freeze them. They last a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Not forever. By the way, you may want to throw out those 6-year-old steaks. That's not considered dry aged.
They're not frozen. They're just
No,
laying
I'm doing
in your
something with
garage.
Oh, all right.
I'm doing something. You guys should come over for tacos.
Yeah.
Nope. Not going to do it.
I will not consider it.
Nope.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just something that I had never even considered. That's the part of this that I was blown away by. One, what they revealed that they knew, right? And two, I didn't even think about this. Like, I've gone this to great lengths not to have to get a vaccine, and now I'm going to get blood potentially that's got vaccinated blood. I don't want that.
It's rules for me and not rules for thee, not for me. They can discriminate.
Yeah.
They can ask the questions. You can't make the request. You can't make the request. They can because they understand the risks.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the risks are astronomical. I'm not saying that everybody is dropping dead from the vaccine, from the mRNA injection.
I just don't want to take the chance.
But it is a much higher rate.
Yes.
There are complications that we now know, and the Red Cross knows. They know because they're screening for it. But if you want to screen for it, absolutely not. That's the problem with elites. By the way, anyone want to bet that Red Cross isn't receiving any type of federal funding?
Oh, gosh, come on.
Of course. Of course. So, hey, follow the money. You want to get your funding? You want to get your grant? Well, then you better make sure to play ball politically. You can screen quietly. Make sure that the actual donors, the actual receivers, they don't get to screen. You do. They don't. That's it. That's really what it comes. And we're going to be tracing this a little bit more, tracking down that lead. I think there's more here than meets the eye. But we're only going to bring to you right now what it is that we know.
Watch Slider with Crowder live Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.